story. Because you must be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And God showed me the way out and began to share a lot of things with you, so you get them in the book because of time. But guess what? Once I understood that, as I began to make money, I was not frivolous. Till now, you can't see the wealth of my life in my physical appearance. You won't see it. Why? Because it's not necessary. Those things not necessary. All those, you don't need that. Now, guess what? I began to delay gratification. As I make money, I invest. As I make money, I buy land. As I make money, I buy. As a young man, the first set of money that I had in the days of stock markets in the early 2000s, I bought my first 50 acres of land in 2001. 50 acres, started an estate. By 2003, I bought 100 acres. By 2005, I bought 200 acres. I bought 70 acres of land here in Abuja in 2008. The money that people were buying brand new car, I was buying Tokumbo. Why? Because there is a future. Now, by the time you now get to your 60s, you don't want to be jumping around looking for money. Now, 2001, that land I bought in 2001, they are still there till now. That's 24 years ago. How many of you will wait for 24 years? The one I bought in Abuja here, 2008, is still there. I still have over 200 plots I have not sold. That's still there. So you delay gratification. When we were coming up in those days, it was title. People were collecting title of bishop this, bishop that. I said, I know they do title. Let my work speak for me. And instead of spending money to do many things, I was investing. Those delayed gratification are producing results now. So you want to become rich and wealthy? The law of delayed gratification. You see, all this one, you are just spending money to look good without a good life. It's not okay. You are fixing eyelashes, fixing nails. No problem, but have you fixed your life? Because when the chips are down, you can look beautiful, and then one useless man will be abusing your life, and you will sit down there because you cannot do anything, because you can't pay rent by yourself, you can't pay school fees by yourself. A lot of African women are in abusive marriages and they cannot go anywhere, and the man knows you cannot go anywhere because he's the one sponsoring your father, your mother, and the whole of your family. And every money you get, soft life. I have soft life, soft life. Women, let me ask you a question. If your husband dies today, can you live and afford the same quality of life you have now? Can your children remain in the same school? Can you still go to summer? If you cannot, it's time to rethink your life. It's time to what? Rethink your life. Then, bro, let me come to you. Bearded gang. As you are growing beards, I hope you are growing in investments. You are going to the gym, 6-pack. You don't have 6 plots of land. You don't have 6 figure. Muscular prosperity. Is that what we are going to eat? And then the amazing thing about this generation is that you don't have ego, but you have ego. You cannot have ego and have ego. It's not possible. You need to humble yourself. So delay gratification. Number 3, because of time, is the law of savings. The law of savings. What you save today will save you tomorrow. The law of savings. What you save today will save you tomorrow. If you don't save, you are not safe. Now let me explain why savings is very important. You can go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. I have a 5-part series on developing the savings culture. You see, money is tripartite. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in the body. Money is a spirit, money has a soul, money lives in the body. The spirit of money is called Mammon. That's the spirit that controls money. That's the central bank governor of the kingdom of darkness. It's the spirit that controls your thoughts, your impulses, and your desires. That's why when money comes, new desires begin to spring up. It's Mammon. Now, that's why when you don't have it, you pledge it. When you have it, you struggle to give it. Because once it comes, mammoth comes with it. Now, the soul of money is the value of your currency in the marketplace. That's why national currencies have different value in the market, and they are controlled by market forces. So money is universal, but currency is geographical. The body of money is the currency of your own nation. Now, money is tripartite. Money has a past, money has a present, and money has a future. Money has a past, money has a present, and money has a future. Now, listen. Every money that is going to be paid to you in your lifetime will not be paid to you once. You can't carry 35 years salary and collect it the day you resume. No. So if you're going to work for 35 years, you're going to do business for 50 years, all the money you're going to be making in the whole of your lifetime will not be paid to you once. It's going to be paid to you periodically. So it therefore means that as a salary earner, every time you are collecting that salary, your past, present, and future is inside. Are you getting it now? So when you collect that money every month, or you make that money from contract or from business, inside that money, there's Trinity there. A portion of that money belongs to your past to take care of the bills that you have already incurred. So you need to now understand that if you are paying rent and your rent is 1.2 million per annum, and you have paid for 2 years or you have paid for 1 year, as you are collecting salary every month, you must have a rent account where you'll be putting 100,000, so that when 2 years reach, you won't be coming to church for welfare. You already have your rent saved up, because a portion of that money belongs to your past. A portion of that money belongs to your present to take care of your ongoing obligation. You should have enough common sense to know that when they pay you that salary, before the next one comes, it's 30 days and you will need to fuel your car. You will need to take care of your bills. So you put something aside. Then a portion of that money belongs to your future. It's called savings. So if you don't save it, that means you have eaten the future. So many of us, we are witches, because we have eaten our future. You don't chop them. And now once you eat your future, you don't have a future. So look, let's go deeper. There is really nothing called future. It's all this future. There's nothing like that. The future is a concept. The future is an ideology. Today is the tomorrow you spoke about yesterday. That future you were talking about, now it be this now. So when you come to church, my future is bright, I will get there, just they play. Your future is not bright. There is no bright future anywhere. The future you create is the future you inhabit. You won't have a bright future if you don't create the bright future. When you enter the future, you suddenly realize that the future is the same. Because 10 years ago, if they told you 10 years ago that 10 years later you will not have a car, you say, God forbid. There are many things that God forbid that your ignorance permitted. There are many things that God forbid that your habit and your attitude permits. There are many things that God forbid that life permits. 10 years later, you couldn't achieve. So if you are going to have that, so from that money, you need to now begin to save. So many times, we don't understand the concept of the supernatural. The supernatural is a combination of super plus natural. The super will remain super without the natural. The natural will remain natural without the super. It's a combination, a collaboration, a conjunction of the super plus the natural that produces the supernatural. So many times when you are trusting God for a supernatural move, there is a natural component. And you need to understand that. You want to be fruitful, there is a natural component. Sex with your spouse. You want to succeed in your exam, there's a natural component. Go to school, go to library, read and prepare for the exam. So there's always a natural component. So when you say, oh God, Lord bless me with 1 million, as you are saying, Lord bless me with 1 million, in your mind you are thinking of one person just giving you the 1 million. You are thinking that someone just can say, God told me to give you 1 million. It doesn't work like that. We don't live by miracles, we live by principles. Miracles are exceptions and interruptions when principles are not working. So when you are praying, Lord, give me 1 million, I need 1 million, I need 1 million, what you are thinking of is wrong. Because every time you pray, the answer to a prayer is an instruction or a direction. But we don't hear the instruction or the direction because we have been tuned by religion. So you are waiting for someone to lay hands on you to prosper. Can I lay hands on you to be a driver? Can I lay hands on you to become a medical doctor? So I will lay hands on you, you just prosper, just like that. Oh God. So as you are praying for God to give you 1 million, the natural component is, can you save 100,000 every month? If you start saving 100,000 every month, 10 months later, your prayer will be answered. So that prayer, Lord give me 1 million, will release wisdom to save 100,000 a month and grace to stay with it. And 10 months later, your prayer is answered. Do you understand that now? So you need to get this, so you need to save. Everybody should save a minimum of 10% of their income. Minimum. A minimum of 10% of your income should be saved. And that will help you to have money. Let's move to the next one. Is the law of asset acquisition. The law of asset acquisition. Now please listen. Savings is not an investment. Savings is not an investment. When you are saving money, that's not investment. But savings is required in order for you to be able to invest. So the law of asset acquisition. So if you are going to become rich and wealthy, you need to acquire assets. Now listen, riches are cash-based. Wealth is asset-based. So when you say a man is rich, it's monetary. When you say a man is wealthy, it's assets. So any fool can be rich. You can go to government and steal all the money meant for hospital, and then you have 40 billion in your account. You are a rich man, but you are not wealthy. Because if all you have is money, you are of all men most miserable. Hello? So you can kidnap somebody and collect money and carry children for child trafficking and make money. You can be doing organ sales and make money. You see why you have to be wise as a kid? Because all these ones I'm talking about, you can't do it. So 70% of the way these people make money, you are already disqualified. That now you refuse to study and do the one that you can do. Hello? So once you understand this, savings is not an investment. You save so that you can invest. The next law is the law of what? Asset acquisition. Start acquiring assets. Many of us now, our lives are filled with liabilities. Your wardrobe is filled with suit and tie. All kinds of bag and shoe to match. Italian air, Peruvian air, Kuje air, Guagualada air. You have it in different color. An ordinary one plot you don't have. And you are jumped that the head is the Lord and the fullness thereof. The head is the Lord. Oga. If the earth is the Lord, how come he has not given you one plot? When you are not a bastard, if the earth is the Lord, you can't have one plot. Ordinary one plot. You have spent 25 years in this world, 50 years, one plot you don't have. One plot. The earth is the Lord. Listen, read your Bible. The heavens and the heavens belongs to God. The earth has he given to the sons of men. So the earth is the Lord by creation, but the earth belongs to men by occupation. So men, if you go and pick any plot of land now, you will discover that God is not the owner. God is not the owner. A human being will show up and say, that's my land. The earth is the Lord, the earth is the Lord. Your grandfather was a tenant. Your father is a tenant. You are a tenant. It's not a generational curse. It's a generational choice. There are only 3 people called Lord in this world. Jesus is Lord. The judge is Lord. The landlord is Lord. You are not a Lord until you get your portion. Hello, dominion is land. Faith is land. Whosoever owns the land determines the faith that is practiced in the land. Hello, I will give you the land of the Evites. So land. So you need assets. So what's an asset? Anything that appreciates in value is an asset. Anything that appreciates in value is an asset. What's an asset? Anything that produces cash flow is an asset. Anything that appreciates in value is an asset. Anything that produces cash flow is an asset. So, because of time, I'm going to add some things at this point and jump to point 7, and then we'll close. Now listen. Once you begin to save and you start acquiring assets, few other things you need to do that are in that class is what we call investing. So you need to start investing. Now, savings is setting money aside for a purpose. Investing is sending money on assignment for a return. So you start acquiring assets, you start investing. So you can start investing in what we call the capital market or money market. Now, when we talk about the capital market, we're talking about you buying the stocks or shares of a traded company. But when we talk about money market, we're talking of different things. We're talking of fixed deposit. We're talking of bonds. We're talking of treasury bills. We're talking of mutual funds. We're talking of you sending that money on assignment so that instead of the money sitting in your bank and wasting away, you are putting the money to work. So that instead of you working hard for money, money is working hard for you. And then one thing you must always have at the back of your mind at this point is cash flow. Someone say cash flow. That's what you should be having at the back of your mind. What can I do that will continue to produce cash flow? So if I'm buying an asset, so for instance now, if you begin to think cash flow, you may not have money to buy a house at the beginning, so you may start with land. So instead of doing cash banking, you do land banking. But you see, land is an asset, but it does not produce cash flow. until it becomes a house that produces rent or income. Do you understand? So you have to be thinking cash flow, which is the ultimate of where you are going to. But if you are acquiring assets, the asset may not be able to produce cash flow, but you start from there while you are working towards a point where it can now produce cash flow. Because when you say you are financially free or you are financially independent, what financial independence really means is that you have enough assets and investments that produces enough cash flow that takes care of everything that you need and give you a leftover. Then you are financially free. Do you understand that? So it means that if, for instance, now you need 5 million a month, that means you need 60 million per annum. So if you have an investment now that gives you 120 million per annum, you are free. So it's not about amassing billion. No. It's just you are free, because whether you work or not, the investment and the asset is producing what will take care of you. So let's now close with the final law, the law of covenant compliance. The law of covenant compliance. I am amazed when I see a lot of people come into the church, become a part of the church, and then argue about covenant obligation. Listen and listen well. In this kingdom, you are too small to be the purpose of God for your life. You are too small. Purpose is greater than you. When you become a part of this kingdom, money is nothing but a tool for the fulfillment of purpose. It says, I'm the one that gives you power to get wealth, that I may establish my covenant. So for you to be in the kingdom and then you are comparing yourself with those that are not in the kingdom, you are not operating in wisdom. You say, Jeff Bezos does not pay tithe, Elon Musk does not pay tithe. Do you know them? Have you seen them before? Do you have a relationship with them? Go and do your research. There is no rich or wealthy man on earth that does not give. Not one. Giving is a law for wealth creation. So whether you are born again or not, generosity, so they call it generosity, corporate social responsibility, giving back, mission, well, they call it all kinds of names, philanthropy, but everybody must give. Everybody must give. So when you come into the kingdom, we may call it first